Hello, welcome to this mini tutorial about PhotoPlus. I'm using here for this tutorial PhotoPlus X7, but you can use any other previous version of it. It will work the same way. This tutorial is about creating a frame in your picture, like I did in this one. Here's another example where I put the frame not completely in the border at the border of the picture, but more inside it. Also here, this text has been created exactly using the same technique. Or you can also make pop up a part of a picture. You can do that, of course, in many different ways, but I will explain one very easy one using exclusively just the mask and the effect. Okay, so for this tutorial I will use this picture. So let me resize a little bit my application. Okay, so to start with, just create a very simple frame. I will use here a square, a rectangular frame, but of course any shape could work for that. First thing we should do is to duplicate the background. So I will duplicate it. Then using the selection, create the shape that you would like to have. Well, why should we use a rectangle in the end? I will use a quick shape. What could we use instead? Use a heart. Okay, now we have a selection, and what we should do is then create a mask layer of this second layer that we created. Okay, so you see that because we had a selection when you created the mask, what is inside the selection will be white. That means it is transparent, while the black part will show what is in the picture that is on the same layer. Now, of course, we don't see anything about the frame. We want to have it popping up. Therefore, we can do many things. I will just switch off now the selection, and what we can do, therefore I will have to promote the background to a layer. So that's what I just did, and now I can use the effect, and I will colorize the background using the color fill. Of course, that's not exactly the effect we would like to have, because now it's not transparent at all, but we can make it transparent like this. And if you don't like the blue, but you would like to make it just less dark, then you can use white and transparency, and the combination of the both will give you this nice effect. Oh, sorry, press cancel instead of apply. So color fill, white, and some transparency. That will be nice. Okay. If we want to make it pop up more, this time we select the layer with the mask, and again we use the effect. And now we can do a lot of things. We could apply a drop shadow, which can be outside, can be inside. I prefer using the outer glow effect, but put it to black. The drop shadow is nice, but it has one thing. It's only going into it goes into one direction. You have to decide for a direction where the light source is coming from, and then you will have the shadow at the other side of the light source, while the outer glow is nicely the same at everywhere around, and then you can use the blur and the intensity parameters, and if you want the opacity to make it like you want to have it. It's, by the way, exactly this system that I used in the picture, where this one here. So to get this effect, what I did, I will remove here the mask. So I select the mask layer and I press the delete button, and it will erase delete only the mask layer. It won't remove the full layer. If you click it the second time, then the second layer will disappear. Okay, so this time I want to have only this part. This house is a restaurant and I want to make it pop up. So what I can do, I want to create a selection, but it's difficult. I can of course use the polygon and try to create a nice rectangle that way, but I'm not sure it's really a good rectangle. By the way, here it's not. Okay, so what I would do in that case is create a new layer just to work on it. Use the rectangle selection tool and create a shape more or less the size I want to have it, and I use then the manipulation tool to put it where I want to have it exactly. So I'm working hard here on that layer where nothing is on it, so I don't distract nothing. I'm just placing the selection where I want it to be. Once that happens, I can simply remove that layer. Nevertheless, the selection will stay until you select something else, or you use Ctrl D to remove your selection. Now that we have the selection, we simply click on create mask, and here we have. It can happen that you just get the opposite effect than what you would like. When you create the mask, it's not the correct part which is black and the correct part which is white. In that case, it's very easy. You select the mask, so make sure you select it by clicking into the mask icon, and then you can manipulate the image by going to image, adjust, and invert. And now you see that I just inverted my mask, but the one before was perfect, so I go and here what I wanted is have to black and white, so I can remove the effect, remove the color field, but instead I add in between a black-white film, and that's it. But of course here the frame is not popping up nicely, so I go back here and I use again the effects. I start by putting an outline, but I want it to be white. Okay, make it a little thicker, and I can here use it. It's a bit too distant. Okay. So you see, just using the mask and using the effect, you can do a lot of things, and all these things completely non-destructive. So you can always change it. If now you think that it would be nicer to have a slightly different frame, I can do it easily. I just So again, to manipulate selection, it's better to work on a layer which is empty. Um, okay, and when it's okay, I'll go back here, and now I use the fill tool, and I have to make sure to select white, and I click on the part which is not white for the moment, it is black. If I click on it, ta-ta, it's already the shape, a new shape. So that's the advantage of using this technique instead of other possibility. Of course, again, you can do these kind of things in different ways, but I like this one because it's so you can easily change it as you like afterwards. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and have fun.